Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hello, I am very pleased to be back this week with another episode covering the first ever Women's Decathlon World Championships, which I got to see in person. This is Hear Her Sports, a female athlete podcast, and I am your host, Elizabeth Emery. Today, I am talking to 3 of the athletes who represented France at the World Championships this past weekend. I'm going to let them introduce themselves so we can hear how beautiful their names are when they are pronounced as they should be.
My name is Patricia, Mehlich.
And my name is Adeline, Audigier.
Joining the two of them is their teammate who finished second overall.
My name is Roseva Bidois.
Adeline was born in the city of Marseille in the south of France 32 years ago on the same day as her brother and sister. Yes, she is a triplet. I had to double check that fact because at first I thought it was possibly a translation issue. But no, she grew up as a sporty kid with 2 other sporty kids her exact age. Adeline was a professional firefighter for 4 years and became a shipboard firefighter trainer 2 years ago. She works full-time in addition to training for the Decathlon. Patricia is German but has been living in France for about a decade and is in the process of becoming a French citizen. Like a true multi-eventer, Patricia loves doing lots of different things. She plays the piano, writes books, knits, and gardens. Plus, she speaks German, French, English, and also a bit of Spanish. Roseva, the top finisher of the French athletes who made the trip to Geneva, is a former discus athlete. She switched to multisports, both heptathlon and decathlon, about a year ago. She's only 24, so a huge part of the future. Roseva lives in Lyon, France, where she is a sports science student. There, she also trains daily with her head coach, Jan Chelly, and other event-specific coaches. She grew up in a large family with 3 brothers and 3 sisters. She was among the youngest, so learned early to fight with siblings to get what she wanted, making her the competitive athlete that she is today. After last week's show, I wanted to get Adeline and Patricia back here to find out what the World Championships were actually like and if the weekend had lived up to their expectations. Lucky for us, Roseva could join them because the whole French team stayed in an absolutely fabulous Airbnb right on Lake Erie. The house was so much right on the lake that they could walk down to the edge of the yard and recover from competition with their legs soaking in the cool water. In the episode, you'll hear stories from the 3 athletes about their personal results, what it was like to make the trip here from Europe, what the weekend meant, and what the next steps are to bring decathlon to the Olympics in 2028. I am finding decathlon super interesting because even though the 7-event multisport, the heptathlon, has been in the Olympics since 1984, the decathlon, which is 10 events, is new, and it feels new. Personal and world records are broken regularly. The athletes are on a steep learning curve, as is everyone else, including the event organizers, federations, officials, and fans. And putting it in a sad and small group, decathlon is one of the few remaining sports that still suffers from the, oh my God, ancient belief that women are not capable of hard things or that a uterus or 2 will fall out during competition. Wait till you hear Adeline talk about being told she is not able. In the many years of producing Hear Her Sports, there have been several episodes that explode my brain a bit and change my thinking in big ways. These 2 about the women's decathlon did that. This episode in particular gets to the heart of the significance of the World Championships this past weekend. In the episode before this one, Adeline and Patricia explain the decathlon and why it is the real, complete version of multisport events. If you haven't heard that episode yet, do go back to listen. It is terrific. Lauren Kunst is mentioned a few times in our conversation today. She is a decathlete herself and competed at the Worlds this past weekend in the Icosathlon, otherwise known as the Double Decathlon. One on Saturday and then another one on Sunday. Yes, it is a doozy, and Lauren is the women's world record holder for that event. Equally important, though, Lauren was the one who organized the championships and brought so many athletes from all over the world to Ohio for the competition. Jordan Gray is also mentioned. She is also a decathlete and has been fighting for years from the United States to make decathlon the official Olympic multisport for women. She did not compete last weekend. Instead, she ran around literally all over the place doing everything and anything that was necessary to make the entire weekend run smoothly. Thank you very much to both of them. We jump right in with Patricia first, then Roseva adds a little bit more, and Adeline will come in a little bit later. So let's get started and find out more about the first ever Women's Decathlon World Championships from French teammates Adeline Audigier, Patricia Mehlich, and Roseva Bidois. Well, I was very lucky to watch your event this weekend. So just tell me what it was like.
It was incredible. I think words still cannot describe how amazing everything was. I mean, we were so absorbed in the event itself. Everything was like, so well organized and everyone was so nice. You really felt that every volunteer and every judge participating in the competition, their first mission was our well-being, and they were really there to support us so that we could be able to give the best of ourselves to really perform. And that really was incredible.
And what has it been like, coming over from France and being part of this, very historic event?
Yeah, it's an historic event, and I think we have a lot of chance to participate to that. And I think in many years, maybe 20, 30 years, we will look behind us and we will see that, and we will say, well, we were the first ones and we had this chance. So yeah, it is a real chance to participate to that.
Did you have a sense that everybody who was participating, the athletes, and you mentioned all the support staff and the volunteers and the judges and all of that, did you get a sense that they also understood the historic aspect of the event?
Yes, totally. I mean, it was so cute. Even the first day we arrived, everyone already had this violet T-shirt with printed on women belong into Olympic decathlon or something like that. Maybe I'm not phrasing it totally 100% right. And there were many people who they actually had already read something about women's decathlon, so they weren't newcomers to it. So it was really nice even to exchange with them because they already had this idea and this vision of women's decathlon becoming an Olympic event in the future.
Adeline, can you talk about how this was different from past experiences, either doing the decathlon or, all the years that you were doing heptathlon?
First of all, this event is an international one, and for me, it's the first time I've participated in this kind of events. This dimension is huge to discover how the other ladies in the world live the women's decathlons and try to change the athletics. This dimension is so important, and it shows that it's a new step too. This weekend was an important event. We have created by ourselves, that Lauren Kunz and Jordan Gray has created by themselves, because for now the big organization don't do it. They are waiting for us to do it first, and then as they will realize it's a huge opportunity, and it's wow, it's amazing, and girls are here and they perform and they like it and they have fun, and after they will organize it. But I hope one day that the official organization like World Athletics or Olympics Committee will do it before that we do it. I hope that they will understand it's a huge opportunity and create the next change.
Have you heard from anybody from World Athletics or anybody, your federation or the American Federation, responding to what has happened this weekend?
Yeah, I know that the president of French Federation of Track and Field, he has texted us all during the weekend to congratulate us. We feel
That's
so
awesome.
good. That's really awesome. I don't have the word, but it is the number one of French Federation who texts her to say, okay, I follow you. The things you are doing are amazing and we are behind you. That's great.
I was impressed that you all had the super slick kit.
Yeah.
Full kit. It was beautiful.
Yes.
You looked awesome.
It's the French Federation
Yeah.
which offered us this one just before we travel to Ohio. They decided to say, okay, you're representing France. Okay, even if it isn't an official competition, it's an international one. And we know you have to check this step to push things forward. Yeah. So the symbol is that you are the high level athletes and you deserve this equipment, these kits. But in fact, in the world, and we have shown it, in the world, French have good results. You have seen that Roseva takes the second place. So in fact, the results are really good. And secondly, it's a manner to show that the French Federation supports the future and the movement. Not only the performance, but they consider us as pioneer. How do you say people who write story and see in the future?
Yes.
Pioneer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a way to award us.
Well, for me, it showed that, one, they recognized you and were giving you official go-ahead that,
Yep.
you are doing great stuff and have at it. For me, it meant a lot to see you all in that kit.
And I like the idea that an official federation say, okay, we don't just offer kits to people who have high-level results, but to people who want to create good change in this world.
Right. It was also amazing to me to see how many athletes from countries all over the world were there.
Yeah.
I mean, they were taking a big step to come here.
Yeah, totally. Especially because we were having quite a lot of Europeans. I mean, there were 2 Swiss girls, 1 girl from Ireland, 1 girl from Spain. So every time, they had to, come here. I mean, it's also like a financial, cost that you need to take into account. And even though I'd say it may not have been easy for all of them to gather the money to come here. Maybe not all of them had sponsors that could support them financially. They still all came to be part of this historic moment. And I think that also shows the determination of those girls to want to create this change and to be part of this change.
You mentioned that Roseva got second place. Were you all satisfied with your results? I assume that you're happy that you achieved second.
I am very satisfied. I came here to, without any specific goal. I came here saying okay, this is the first World Women Championship, and there is no limit. I can do bad things, but also I can do everything. I can dream of the first place, and it was the second. I didn't see the results during the competition. I saw it just before the javelin, so after 8 events, and I texted my coach saying, "Okay, I can see the results. I want a podium. I want a medal, and I want the better color as possible." So I fight for it. I fight for it during the javelin. I fight for it during the 1500. Well, it was not very fast, but the middle was at the finish line. So it was on the one hand a good surprise, but on the other hand it was the results of lots of work. Lots of teamwork, because to me, athletics is not an individual sport. To me, it's a collective sport. It's like basketball, because with my coaches and with my teammates, we are a team, like a basketball team. But I have the ball, and I can't score, but not them, but they are with me. They made the job, and we are all together. And what was amazing in this competition is that we were a team too with the Frenchies. We were 6 to compete, to support, to be together. So yeah, it was amazing, and I'm very, very satisfied of the results. So yeah, I'm very happy.
I'm glad you talked about the team aspect, because I was watching Shot Put and I saw you talk to, I think it was Adeline, about how to get it further. I thought that was really fascinating. Right in the middle of the competition, you're helping your competition, essentially. It was awesome.
Coaching is a way to support the others, and during the season, it's what I do with my teammates. So yeah, it's very important to help others, because everybody have good events and bad events, and we have to share. And
we have to be able to lean on each other, especially in moments where we're like, traveling across the ocean, not having our coaches with us. It's very important to have that, community of girls, and everyone has their strong event and can help the others in an event where maybe they are a little less strong.
Yeah, even if we were at the other parts of the world, we were not alone, and the French team showed that we were not alone at all.
So for me, I came with a goal that was to get these 6,000 points in the decathlon, and I did it. So that's already something I'm very proud of and very happy. Of course, there are always events where I would have wanted to get a better score. But then on the other hand, there were also some personal records. So it evens out everything a little, I'd say. I think now that we're like the day after, if I just like look back, I think I'm just happy to have been here and to have spent this time with the girls, not only the French girls, but with the whole decathlon squad. We went after the competition, everyone gathered together and we had a nice meal together. And these moments, they are so precious. Like it goes really above the competitive spirit or above the competition itself. It's almost like now we know decathletes all over the world. I don't know, next year we'll surely have more decathlon in France, and we have already girls in Europe saying, yeah, you have to tell me because I would like to come and compete with you. And this kind of, connection that we made all over the weekend, I think that's something that we need to hold on and to develop it even more in order to make the decathlon the Olympic event that we want to make it.
Yeah, about my results.
Yeah, you did very well too.
Yeah, it was good. But not as good as I wished, but I've reached the 5th place and it's okay. I've really enjoyed these 2 days with all these ladies. And for me, this competition represents 2 objectives. The first one is to create results. And the second one is to gather with all these women and take time to prepare the future and to understand how the different countries represent their countries, imagine the future, and try to create an uniformity of thinking for the future, because we cannot create the next generation of women's decathletes in our own country by just ourselves. We have to share it. And I feel this competition really as a teammates competition for the reasons that Roseva has explained, because we share our ability to help the other to perform. And it's a reality in combined events generally. It's like a team sport, really. And for another aspect is that there is no border for the building of women's decathlon in the world. We are just one team of women without different national t-shirts. There is no sense of border in this adventure. We are all together. All these women want the decathlon. And all together we are to imagine how we can create this change. Just one country doesn't make sense. We have to create it in each country in the world, or at least in the big continents first, like Europe, USA, Germany. We know that these are the targets to reach this big country.
What are the next steps?
I think after this competition, we will probably write some mails to World Athletics and the Olympics committee, international Olympic committees. We will report all the things we have done during this year and all the good results and all the number of participants and the good feedback we have received from everybody. Because it's true, it's not just athletes, it's athletes plus referee plus public plus all these person who support us, and that it's a big crew. We know that, but each time we discover that, women's decathlon is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and we have to inform the official institution that it's becoming bigger, because I'm not sure they are following social media. They use classic communication, so we have to report, and probably we'll have rendezvous with them to speak about that with them. So next step is to continue to create competition all over the world, important international one, national one, and to inform people of what's happening. But we have to start to have exchange with the official institution now.
If everything went your way, would you like this competition to repeat itself here next year? Or would you like, like the World Athletics Association to take over the organizing even for next year?
Yeah, the objective is to create official championship. If they don't, for next year, we will continue to create this competition with more athletes, like male athletes, okay, with more communication. We will continue to do it by ourselves, because you can be sure of one thing, is that we will continue to push for until this become official. That's all.
One of the things that struck me watching the event was that there were so many young athletes there. It actually seemed like your plan could work by sort of bringing in the young athletes into decathlon rather than heptathlon. Is that sort of what you saw as well?
Yes, it's absolutely, it's that way we have to follow. And I think new generation who are not participate to heptathlon since like 10 years are more able to, or their way of thinking is more able to go to decathlon first. That's why they are younger, and it's too a good plan. We want to reach the young generation for the future.
Well, it certainly seemed like you did that. The developmental group was really big.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes.
Mm.
This weekend, has your idea about the project or your plans for the project or thoughts about the project changed?
Yeah, for me, it definitely did, because this weekend and these competitions made everything even more concrete than it was before. I mean, before we were like let's say in our little world in France and doing all these competitions, but when we looked right and left, there weren't that many other European countries. I mean, there was actually no other European country that was considering organizing women's decathlon competitions, especially not with the support of their local federation. So I think at some point we maybe felt a little bit alone, but now having seen that in the US there are really girls who are doing the exact same thing, and that we have reached so many girls from different countries who will now report back of their experience in their home country, that really gives me hope that that next year we'll see more women's decathlon in different countries. Because I think the international stage is really important in terms of communication, but World Athletics stressed several times that the change needs to come from within the different countries. So having a decathlon in the US and in France, it's not enough. We need the decathlon in Germany, we need the decathlon in Switzerland, in Ireland, in Belgium. I mean, we already have one decathlon, I think, in Belgium, but we need to spread. That's really the main thing we need to do. And today, after having competed these 2 days, I feel way more confident that we will be able to achieve this. Now I feel like, as Adeline said, I kind of want to take my laptop and write to all those federations and say, look what we have been doing. This we're getting somewhere. This is becoming something. So please help us making this change. Help girls do the decathlon and be same as men, the world's most complete athlete. Please just come and support us. These old excuses of maybe women are not cut out for this, and well, today World Athletics hasn't sent any signs for us to take action. No, stop that. That's not true anymore. We are doing stuff here, so please look at what we're doing and try to understand how important this is. Yeah, I feel so motivated right now to keep pushing, because this has been so inspirational to be here with the girls, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to what we can achieve in these next months and years.
With this fight and with a lot of fight for equity in women's sports, I hear your excitement and I get excited. However, I also know the other side, that there's so much frustration and, bad times and low times, and hearing the excuses that you're talking about. So how are you going to stay motivated? Because you have very specific goals that have deadlines. Like, you want to be an exhibition event in LA in 2028, yep. And that is close.
That's true. But I think for me right now, and I hope it will stay like this, the motivation and everything that we could like take in this weekend, it's more important than the frustration and the setbacks we had to face. We have had the chance to have our group photographer Manon. She came with us here really to support us and to take pictures. So we have like a ton of really great photos. And I think the day where I'll feel that my motivation is going down, I'll just like look at the album of every photo we have taken here, and it will help me like get my motivation up again. 2028, it will not be a piece of cake, but I think today we really have what it takes to get there. I think we really can do it, right?
Yeah, you're true, because each time we are creating something new, so the rule can change. When I hear you cannot do it, I hear in my mind it's like, oh, you challenge me. Let's go. I like it. And each time in France, I've heard, okay, it's over. The national championship you are dreaming will not take place. I've heard this. I've heard it when 1 year before we created it. And the result is that, okay, you have said no. What is the result? Yeah, there is national championships. Why? Because we fight, because we have good arguments, because the reasons are good, and because, you know, when you want to create new things, you break the rules. And we will probably do the same for the next steps.
Roseva, what about you? I mean, are you involved in the project, or is this just you're just coming as an athlete? Like, how do you fit into this whole picture?
I think you can't be today a decathlete, a women decathlete, without being involved in this project. It's not possible. So no, I can't be just a decathlete. I have recently being participate to this fight, because it is an adventure, yeah. I'm trying to help as much as possible. My part of the job is being the best athlete I can as I can. I'm trying to help Adeline when she is needed some help. And yes, it's very inspiring to participate to competition with those girls, because they are very, very motivated by this project. So I'm motivated too. And you can't be a decathlete without being involved in the decathlete project. I think this adventure is a little bit ambitious. Well, 4 years is a little bit short, but we can say, well, maybe in 8, 12 years, maybe 20, it's not possible. So yeah, it's ambitious, but it's real. No, it's not ambitious. It's possible. So no, it's not ambitious, not at all.
Well, to wrap things up, could each of you talk about if this weekend was everything that you dreamed of?
I would say that this weekend was more than that, because, I mean, of course, you come with expectations. Obviously, you imagine things. You're trying to, like, you know, get into the competition and imagine how it could be, but in the end, everything always comes different, of course. And I think this was so special. It was really, really so special. And yeah, I think it exceeded my expectations like a lot. I was very, very, very impressed with all the organization. I mean, Lauren, she did such a huge job, and even all the officials, the volunteers, everyone they were just amazing. I mean, you didn't even have time to get tired. I mean, you did one event and then it was like, okay, 30 minutes, and then we'll start the next event, and everything was so to the point and organized, and I didn't have to worry about anything. I mean, everything was provided. We had drinks, we had food, and there were so many sponsors who were supporting us. We even had a live stream. I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, our families, they were sitting back in Europe and they could like turn on the TV and follow what we were doing. That was wow. I can just say wow. I think that will be my final word. Wow.
This weekend I took a real emotional kick. I don't know if I can say it, but I think it's the best adventure of my life. I would cry.
Okay, I take the micro because she's crying. And I don't have anything to add because Patricia has said the most important things. For sure, it was far away bigger than what we have expected. It's the result of a lot of work, thanks to Lorraine and Jordan Gray, and all the indicators are high. I mean, have you seen the number of sponsors who are following us? It's huge. Have you seen all the joy on the face of all the participants and the crown and the referee? Wow, it's amazing. Have you seen the results? Huge. For me, the indicators are perfect. That means, okay, continue. Let's see the future.
And I'd like to add that I talked to me, but I think you're the same. I never received as much hugs, love, support from the other women, from friends, from our teammates, from everybody. So it means a lot. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here, for sharing this story. I think we got everything. Is there anything that people should know about so that we all understand?
I think there's one thing maybe that you should know is that in 2028, we'll bring the decathlon to the Olympics. Yeah. That's the plan, and we'll stick to it. Nobody is going to change our mind about this.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am so happy, so honored to have met Adeline, Patricia, Roseva, Lauren Kuntz, Jordan Gray, and so many of the decathletes from all over the world who traveled to Geneva, Ohio to compete in the World Championships so close to where I live. It was fantastic. Thank you to the French team for opening up their Airbnb the day after competition while they were eating breakfast so we could record this episode. As you heard today, women's sports still need support. So if you are able and you have been enjoying this episode, please consider making a donation to help fund what we are doing here. Hear Her Sports brings you issues in women's sports and in-depth interviews with female athletes that you know and also that you don't know. Equally important, Hear Her Sports offers female athletes an opportunity to speak for themselves in their own voices about topics that they care about. This is not the way most media works, so the podcast offers something special to you and to my guests. Any donation is incredibly welcome. To give directly, go to hearhersports.com donate page or go to buymeacoffee.com/hearher. There is a week more of Olympic action. Find the Hear Her Sports Paris Olympics playlist on our website. Thank you for spending your time listening to the show. If you have been telling your friends about Hear Her Sports, a huge thank you for doing that. I'd love to hear from you. Send a note to hearhersports@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Have a terrific couple of weeks. Bye-bye.
Have you ever wanted to know how to win a Formula One Grand Prix? I mean, really know about the driver tactics from the cockpit, the strategy calls from the pit wall, and even the mind games in the paddock. There's a lot more that goes into winning a Grand Prix than just 90 minutes of racing. So every week on the F1 Strategy Report, we're taking a deep dive into the decisions that shape every result. Hey there, my name is Michael Laminato, and every week I'm joined by an expert guest from the paddock to talk through the big calls that won the race and the missteps that resulted in bitter defeat. Before every race, we'll look back at the previous year's result and consult the current form guide, and we'll be in your feed after every Grand Prix dissecting the outcome and what it means for the championship. So for your regular hit of Formula One analysis, subscribe to the F1 Strategy Report wherever you get your favourite podcasts. The Strategy Report is a Beer Mogul podcast on the Evergreen Podcasts network. My name's Michael Laminato, and I'll catch you after the checkered flag.